be where we are in 4 years is absolutely incredible. I mean, this is a great city.
It's amazing for Oklahoma.
It's an outstanding team. They're a great group of guys, and you got a big city behind them.
There's people in Japan, there's people in everywhere. There's people in Indonesia that have Thunder jerseys on right now, and I love it.
It's setting screens, it's diving on the loose ball, it's making the extra pass, it's hustling back. It's everything that talk about winning basketball plays. You guys have done it all year. All we have to do is 48 minutes tonight. 48 minutes tonight, we can win for our results. Bring it in.
The 2012 Western Conference champions, your Oklahoma City Thunder!
Quite a way to kick off the 2012 NBA Finals. Thunder fans and OKC loving the results, too. We welcome you into Thunder Insider here at our Oklahoman studio. I'm Kelly Krall, your host. And Game 1 goes to the Thunder. Despite trailing by 7 at the half, Oklahoma City turned up the heat on the defensive end, and the rest is history.
In Oklahoma City is here. The Western Conference champion Thunder versus the team that emerged as the best in the East, the Miami Heat. Star appeal galore, two attacking aggressive teams. This best of 7 collision figures to be an extraordinarily competitive, highly entertaining series, and it gets underway here in a matter of moments. Westbrook probes and kicks to Durant open. 3 straight away is on the way. Cha-ching at Thunder money ball. KD has all 8. High steps, takes it up. Durant blocks his layup. Collison the loose ball up the middle of Harden. 1-on-2. Hits the trailing Durant right to the rim. Slithers inside, scoops and scores, and Bosh hacks him in the act. Great find by Harden in transition. 4 to shoot. Games to the baseline. A step on Chalmers. Double pumps. Missed the layup. Collison follows it up and in. Beautifully on the stick back. It's 27-18 Miami. Harden 40 feet away. 3 crossing over. Pulls up. Steps back. Fires 22-foot jumper. At the horn. He rips the cords. It's a long 2, but it is true. Harden pulls the Thunder within 7 at the end of 1. Durant slices left down the lane. Dunks! He whirled back and finished with a ferocious right-hand flush over 2 Heat defenders. He's got 13 now. Rebound fought for. Perkins saves it. Chalmers loses it to Sefolosha. Inside Westbrook, open for the easy layup. Tabo with a look away after retrieving the loose ball.
You should get rewarded when you play hard and play aggressive defense. Keep the defensive hands in the game. We're going to continue to get stopped. We're going to make some shots.
Durant dances down the lane, shuttles baseline to Sefolosha, reversing up and in. A right-hand finish. It's tied at 60. Russell Westbrook pounds the dribble up top. Slashes right, a step down the lane, lays it up and in. And Miller hacks him in the act. Westbrook can give the Thunder the lead for the first time tonight with 16.4 left in the quarter. It's tied at 73.
Ready to play your best 12 minutes of basketball.
Fisher up top. Jump pass low. Sefolosha open. Lays it in with the left hand. Oh, what a laser dish by Fisher. Thunder by 5. Miami needs to talk. Timeout Heat.
What a pass by Derek Fisher.
Gives it up inside the box. Ball knocked away. Taken by Sefolosha. Out in front Durant. Galloping. High steps. Dunks. Kevin, the Statue of Liberty. Right hand send down. It's 82-77 Thunder. Brook reels it in. That's a 10th rebound for Collison. Wing right Durant. Arcs a 3 that looks good. It is. Cha-ching. A Thunder. Money ball. Oh, you gotta love it. 87-81 Oklahoma City. Nick Collison, the X factor in game 1. Crossing the timeline up the right side to Harden. Lobs to the rim. Westbrook has it. Touch passing to Collison. The 2-hand throwdown. The Thunder on their way to a game 1 NBA Finals win. Lead 103-92. The Thunder in a battle royale, game 1 of the 2012 NBA Finals, come from 13 back to defeat the Heat, 105-94. They'll take the 1-game-to-none lead into game 2 on Thursday at Chesapeake Arena.
What an incredible finish. And the Thunder players admitted after that contest, there may have been a few butterflies and it just took some time to get acclimated with the pace and the atmosphere that all comes along with the finals. But with that being said, a better start and more energy off the top are a couple of the things Scott Brooks' clubs is focused on as they get ready for Game 2. And with more on the Thunder's keys to success, here is Matt Pinto with a Game 2 preview.
Matt Pinto back at the Chesapeake Arena floor, site of the Game 1 victory for the Thunder by 11 over Miami to grab the 1-0 lead in this NBA Finals. The team back at practice today, and Scott Brooks was asked frequently about the use of Thabo Sefolosha defensively, the impact it had in negating Dwayne Wade's effectiveness through the first 3 quarters, and then LeBron James in the fourth.
Thabo is one of the premier defenders in the league. He has the defensive toughness. He has the mindset to be a great defender, and he does it every possession. And he will guard Wade, he will guard LeBron, and at times he will guard their point guard.
Kevin Durant was magnificent as he's been the entire playoff run for the Thunder, taking the game over offensively in the fourth quarter, scoring 17 of his game-high 36 in that final frame, and doing so efficiently. He had 8 rebounds as well in Game 1. Can he potentially play better in Game 2?
Outside of the locker room, outside of his organization, what I need to do or what I didn't do, I really don't care. I'm a guy that, lets the game come to me, but is also aggressive at the same time. And, I know when to, take shots, when to make the right play. So, people can say this and that. I learned to just tune it out and just play my game.
I'm trying to be ready. In these playoffs, I'm telling myself I have the ability to play as hard as I possibly can. And just trying to focus on just that, keep it simple. I found in my career if I worry too much about results and, am I going to make shots, am I not, am I, different things, I don't play as well. So I'm trying to just play in the moment and find different spots where I can help us.
So Durant and his all-star teammate Russell Westbrook combined for 63 Game 1 points. In fact, they in tandem outscored the entire Miami team in the second half, 41-40. Russell is finding a balance with Kevin late in games, and those two really seem to be in sync right now, playing off each other beautifully.
Coach wants us to stay in attack mode, me and Kevin, and I think we just kind of go with the flow. I know when the fourth quarter comes, it's my job to find a way to get Kevin the ball and find a way to give him, easy shots and open shots, even though if he misses or makes them. And, Kevin knows when 2 guys on him, he passes, and then I stay in attack mode as well. It's kind of been a happy medium of, me shooting or Kevin shooting or whoever shooting the ball, but as long as we stay in attack mode.
So the Thunder excited about Game 2, an opportunity to grab a 2-0 lead before this series shifts to Miami for Games 3 through 5. Game 2 tomorrow night, 8 o'clock at Chesapeake Arena. Stay with us at thunder.nba.com for updates throughout the NBA Finals. Grant Long will be joining me on the radio side tomorrow night, WWLS in Oklahoma City and the Thunder Radio Network. And don't forget our post-game coverage tomorrow night on Fox Sports Oklahoma.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Brian Davis, Grant Long, and I will provide a more in-depth look at the series matchup and break down the keys to success for the Thunder.
This is Nick Collison, and you're watching Thunder Insider.
The Thunder up 1-0 in their NBA Finals debut against the Miami Heat. Joining me now, Thunder play-by-play man Brian Davis, 15-year NBA veteran and Thunder analyst Grant Long. And gentlemen, your impressions on the series so far?
Well, I can say that I've not overly impressed, but certainly impressed at the composure of this young group in Game 1. They got down double digits in the first half, but they did not rattle. They came back in the second half. They got some steam in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, and they carried it over into the third quarter, and ultimately, obviously, won the ball game. But in the biggest stage of their careers, they did not wilt under the pressure by falling behind double digits.
I have to give some love to the faithful because Thunder Nation has gone global. Now, actually, during the regular season, I did meet a guy who had come all the way from Congo because he's a big Serge Ibaka fan. But I ran into one of our season ticket members this morning. He's going to go to Miami, and his sister is coming from Paris to cheer on the Thunder in Game 3.
Well, it's incredible to be in that arena, to see what the fans bring to the court. As you mentioned, it was a total team effort, Grant, to get that Game 1 victory coming from behind for the Thunder. But for a second, let's just point out what Oklahoma City's All-Stars were able to do. Combined, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, 63 points, 15 assists, and 16 rebounds. Can you ask him to do anything more?
Not a whole lot more, but what's interesting is that everybody on the outside who's not been really paying a whole lot of attention to this team, they are now, They look at Kevin Durant and say, how come he's not engaged in the game earlier when he comes, besides later in the fourth quarter where all of a sudden he just puts on a blast of offense? Well, it's by design for Kevin Durant because he understands that if he can loosen up the defense by just going along with the flow of the game early, he'll have an opportunity to really get himself involved later in the ball game. And you saw later in the ball game, he got involved in just about every offensive possession, and he was able to make something happen.
Well, you talk all the time, Grant, about losing yourself in the game, and you see the nice drive and dish by Westbrook, who I thought did a brilliant job of engineering the turnaround in game one. The Thunder had to get some issues set, and it took them the better part of 2 quarters to get that done. But when the opportunity arose then to really start that comeback, it was Westbrook who started to pressure the Miami defense. He forced the Heat's defenders to step to him, and then that allowed him either to drive or get to the rim and get to the rim. Or in the second quarter, remember, Ibaka scored 8 points, Russell finding him on the pick and roll and also on the backdoor.
Dictating the pace, something that the Thunder always wants to impose their will, as you'll say a lot, on the Miami Heat. Certainly fast break points, something they did really well in transition in game one. 24 fast break points to 4 for the Miami Heat. How are they able to be so effective running the floor and finally getting some stops to make that happen?
Well, that's a big part of it, but I think in the first half, the Thunder didn't force any live ball turnovers. They did turn over the Heat, but they were dead ball turnovers. And you want to run in transition, you've got to get these live ball turnovers. That will give you the advantage on the other end, and I think that's what we saw to a large degree in the second half. Credit Nick Collison, Thabo Sefolosha. They really increased the energy on the defensive end of the floor. And if you recognize this Thunder ball club, when they start amping it up on the defensive end, that's what happens. They get out and run. They open the floor up. All 94 feet of it they will use. Send guys to the basket. Send guys in transition. Long outlet passes off the rebounds and turnovers will propel this team into transition.
Hand in hand with that is the Thunder has continued to do a really good job of valuing the basketball, not turning it over. They did have 8 turns in the first half in game one, but then only 2 in the second half, and then they got the ball out of Miami's hands. But if you look over the course of this entire playoff run, the Thunder's assist to turnover is about 2 to 1. And in a playoff scenario, when you're playing physical, tight basketball, that is fabulous.
Absolutely. Well, and we just saw Derek Fisher in that clip right there. That was another big advantage for the Thunder, was their reserve core and that bench production that they got. I know Matt Pinto called Nick Collison the X factor in that game. Here's a guy who had 10 rebounds and 8 points, but it was also Derek Fisher adding into that. And just your thoughts on what they were able to contribute.
So important for the role players to really have an impact on the ball game, because what it does, it gives guys like Durant and Westbrook and even Harden an opportunity later in the ball game to have easier opportunities on the offensive end of the floor. When Collison, who to me is one of the most cerebral guys on this team that you're going to see, he gets to those open areas. And I don't think the Miami Heat were able to account for the fact that he knows how to play this game at a high level, smarts-wise. He was open along the baseline quite a few times with those 2-hand dunks right around the basket. And then you think of all the other guys who play a role like Fisher, who come in and understand how big this moment is. And you don't have to necessarily score a whole lot of points, but you must impact the game in a certain kind of way. And I think everyone knows that as far as their role players are concerned.
And we didn't really see as much of James Harden as we normally did because of the decision to go with Sefolosha on LeBron James in the fourth quarter. So James remains, well, if not the X factor, maybe the Y factor, and also something else too. The bench scoring numbers weren't real pretty, 19-12, but remember also that Sefolosha and Perkins were shut out scoring in the first half and delivered 13 after intermission.
I think it's interesting you say that too, because I think of what the team basically told us all week long was it's the small details, and that's what we saw from guys like Nick Collison, Derek Fisher, and James Harden.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
The computers are good educational tools and just a safe place, to do homework and do research, and it's a great resource, for the kids to have. And I'm glad I get the opportunity to have these computers and this nice resource room.
Hi, I'm Russell Westbrook, and you're watching Thunder Insider.
Throughout this shortened, condensed, and hectic season, the Thunder and its players never wavered on its commitment to the Oklahoma City community. And even during one of the busiest and most intense weeks of the year, OKC found another way to give back to their city. With Oklahoma City hosting the 2012 NBA Finals, it was a perfect time to unveil a month-long project the Thunder recently completed at the City Rescue Mission.
As part of the team's ongoing community service efforts, the Thunder and their local partners opened a brand new NBA Cares Learn and Play Center at the Mission.
And it's always good to give back to community. That's what Oklahoma City is about. The Thunder, giving back to community and reaching out to people in need. So, this is a great event that we attended, and I'm glad I'm a part of it.
The City Rescue Mission had photos of what this space looked like before the transformation, and what a huge difference. A total Thunderized area for the kids to play games, read books, get on the computer, an entertaining and fun area that the City Rescue Mission CEO and President Tom Jones says will make a big difference in how the kids here approach their education.
The Thunder posters and just the players and the hype that comes with it, they're able to feel so valuable because this is their learning center. So they want to come into this space, and when those tutors and volunteers are here to work with them, they'll be doing it just because they get to do it up here in this space.
5 Thunder players, along with head coach Scott Brooks, Thunder CEO Clay Bennett, Executive Vice President and General Manager Sam Presti, and NBA Commissioner David Stern were just a few of those on hand to help cut the ribbon and open up this special, entertaining place.
This is a wonderful, wonderful place, and I'm so thankful that we have been invited in, largely because of the good work that the Thunder have done before us.
Thank you to the City Rescue Mission for allowing all of this into your building and into your space. We just want to say thank you because even though a lot of the focus is on us and our team and what we're trying to do to get ourselves one of these nice things right here, we fully recognize that it is the work that you do on a daily basis that far outweighs anything we could ever do on a basketball court.
The computers are good educational tools and just a safe place, to do homework and do research, and it's a great resource, for the kids to have. And I'm glad I get the opportunity to have these computers and this nice resource room.
So in the midst of a hectic and historic week for the Thunder, they took time once again to show their appreciation for the community that has given them so much.
I remember as a kid myself, if I didn't have a community center and a place to play and the game that I love, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today. So by us helping out and having a great partnership with the city mission, it's a great opportunity for us and the group to really give back to the future of our kids.
The fact that in a community we're all one, and I think this place represents an example of no matter where you're from, what color you are, what neighborhood you exist in, none of us are immune to life's issues and problems and tough circumstances. But all we ask for in life is a chance and an opportunity to succeed and have a chance to follow our dreams. So when you have a place like the City Rescue Mission and what is being done here on a daily basis, it's just a chance. It's that one night that you get a chance to be in a warm building, in a warm bed around people that love you and support you and that are praying for you, that can make the difference in your life. So we want to say thank you to you, Mr. Jones, and to all of your staff for allowing us to come in here today.
Reporting for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm Kelly Kroll.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
This is where the lazier members of the media sit and ask their questions, and you have to be very, very quiet.
You are watching Thunder Insider.
The 2012 NBA Finals between the Thunder and the Heat reached an unprecedented 278 million fans worldwide. The media coverage spanned 215 countries and included more than 47 languages. It's hard to grasp how many eyes are watching OKC this week, but the Sports Animal's Mike Steely caught up with a few members of the international media and got their take on this global spectacle.
Normally for a Thunder basketball game, there's a good contingent of media on hand for every game. The playoffs, of course, it hops up a little bit. But for the NBA Finals, it's an entirely different story. You have to fight for your rights to get the interview, and it's not easy.
I'm cool with it. I'm straight. I mean, it's the finals, man. You You got to embrace the moment. This all comes with it. In a few years, when I retire, nobody going to want to interview me, so I take advantage of it.
Yes, I hear the media onslaught is so bad. The regular mic is out. The Bob Barker boom mic is in. Pretty nerdy, but I hear it gets the job done. If you were in our role, is there anything you would ask?
Guys are wanting to kind of give you cliches at this time because nobody wants to say anything to ruffle any feathers. And I guess some guys are maybe a little different, but I don't know. You can probably ask whatever you want, but we're going to come back to we got to play hard. We got to share the ball. That's kind of the way it goes.
And this would be the podium area. Now, very important things happen here behind this curtain. This is where the lazier members of the media sit and ask their questions. And you have to be very, very quiet. And if you're coming to the finals, you might notice outside Chesapeake Arena, we have a new mini city. This is basically NBA Finals City. The NBA offices, satellite trucks, and all of the finals people that are here basically are in these 10 trailers behind me. This truly is a global game, NBA basketball, and that means there are media members from all around the world descending upon Oklahoma City to cover the NBA Finals.
You know, we have a 3-person team here for the covering of the whole finals. Downtown, it's really changed a lot. So that's really, make me say, wow, man, cities are happening here.
We always like the welcoming in the smaller cities, which is really different from what you can expect from cities like Los Angeles or Miami or New York. So we like it.
What are your impressions of Oklahoma City thus far, overall, just the community and the spirit around the team?
The first thing that comes to mind is how warm is the population and how welcoming it is.
Non seulement un joueur, mais quelqu'un qui est vraiment facile à vivre, sympa.
Great stuff, Steely. Thanks again for joining us here on Thunder Insider. We'll see you again next week with plenty more on Thunder Basketball.